It's all about the Macro Productions.
What does the goddamn line say, Tony?
Please do not use gendered language.
Then what? I'll be arrested, put in airport jail?
Look, you're going completely sideways, man.
It's a big club, and you ain't in it.
How dare you?
Mr. Speaker, the President of the United States.
I'm Chris Hansen with Dave on NBC.
Jack Marius Tack-Theratrix.
Hi, I'm Spartacus.
Jackson, Sacramento, he, him.
Steven Seagal.
Sex offender guy.
I'm Keith Morris.
This is Muammar Gaddafi.
I'm Rick James, bitch.
Sorting through the lies.
The hijacker's passport was found blocks from the World Trade Center crash site, if you can believe that.
We cannot track $2.3 trillion in transactions.
And uncovering the centuries-long plan for world domination.
Learning about Cuba, having some food.
Let's talk about Chinese people.
Have you ever been in a Turkish prison? Swangles and Fort Lauderdale.
I have sent 6 of my Libyan missiles to blow up the Sears hardware department.
Nothing could be more fun than jumping off a cliff with 2 German bisexuals.
Oh, you English are so superior, aren't you?
Thank you, comrade.
And now, macroaggressions.
That's what assholes call it.
With your host,
Buddy, I don't know who you are, but you're about to get chlamydia.
Charlie Robinson.
Hey, Whitey, where's your hat?
You want to drop the blame on Charlie and say it's all Charlie's fault.
He was a retard.
I get some goddamn diuretic.
Welcome to Macroaggressions. I'm your host, Charlie Robinson. If you're watching us on Rumble, Band.video, Vigilante TV, now back on YouTube, or you're listening wherever podcasts are served, thanks a million. We appreciate your support. Macroaggressions.io is the website. You can find out what we're doing with the books, the podcasts, the news sites. Have you bookmarked Activist Post and Natural Blaze? I hope you do. I hope you get your news from Activist Post. It's a fantastic place to find articles from journalists who are writing about important things in the times in which they matter, not 4 years after the fact when it's safe to do so. Also, sign up for the email newsletter over at Activist Post. It's great. We're not going to spam you too much. You're going to get a Sunday newsletter, the Sunday Post weekly wrap-up, just a couple of the top stories that you missed. And on Wednesday, you'll get the Solution Series email. We got problems out there, but luckily there are solutions to it, so sign up for that. Our sponsors are fantastic. They help to make this show happen. If you haven't gotten yourself storable food from Augustin Farms, you can right now. They'll give you 10% off of your first order if you use the discount code MACRO, but they have the most extensive storable food collection you've ever seen. Not just emergency buckets, though you can grab those, but if you're looking to actually eat this food during the apocalypse, well, they've got it all broken down for you. You can get eggs and dairy, fruits and vegetables, meats and proteins, baking mixes, all kinds of stuff. And on top of that, they also have a cookbook, teach you how to cook this, because it is unusual. You will be in your bunker trying to cook dehydrated food and maybe not know how to do it. Don't worry. They have that figured out for you. So I'll tell you what you can do. You can go to augustinfarms.com. The link is down in the show notes. You can just click on it there. The discount code is MACRO. Check it out. See what you think. If you're already set up for storable food, good for you. You're ahead of most people in the world, but you can just buy yourself a couple buckets and have them shipped to somebody in your family who's out of state, maybe doesn't know that things are going to get weird and you want to protect them. So it's all available. augustinfarms.com, promo code MACRO. And also, in the new year, do you have your last will and testament figured out? Have you gotten that finalized? Your medical directive, your financial power of attorney? Nobody wants to think of these things, of course. Nobody certainly wants to pay $2,000 to have a lawyer draft all of it. Luckily, you don't need to. You can go to Legal Shield. They can knock it all out for you in the first month. You can go to don'tgetpushedaround.com. That's the website that they built specifically for us, and you can read up about what Legal Shield offers. It's the best money you'll spend. They did raise their prices recently. It went from $30 to $37.50 or something like that. So it's a little bit of an increase, but still, it's a little bit more than $1 a day. You'll get a whole lot of use out of it in the first month if you want to knock out those documents. Like I said, you'll get an app on your phone. It's easy. Just tap a couple buttons, and you'll notify a lawyer in your area and set it up for you to come in. You can do it. It's easy. It's way more affordable. Go to don'tgetpushedaround.com. Check it out for yourself and see what you think. Well, it's that time of year, everybody. New year, new you. Back with our good friend, founder of Chemical Free Body, ladies and gentlemen, the great Tim James. Hi, Tim. How are you? Good to see you again.
Charlie, how are you? Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. Yeah, I'm good. I'm feeling good. But we're at that time of year where everybody simultaneously decides that now is the time to feel better. When was this line of thinking in August? In August you didn't feel bad? You didn't want to, you got to wait for January to, okay, whatever, fine. You're here. You're on the dance floor. You know, you want to start dancing. What do we do, Tim? Because I want to make sure that people set these goals that they're realistic for themselves, and I'm glad that people are wanting to get healthy, and it shouldn't take the beginning of the year, but whatever. But we also know that people don't always stick with this, and there's some tricks to success to making this stuff happen. But you're the guy that knows how to teach people how to improve their health. You do this through your coaching and everything surrounding Chemical Free Body. So in your opinion, what is the best strategy? Do we just jump right into this, sign up, get a gym membership, and go full bore like we never left? Or is there a step-by-step process that might make this actually stick this time around?
Yeah. Well, I think like the most important thing is creating a system, a lifestyle that's going to support you for the long term. It's not something where you just rush in and you fix all your problems from years of neglect, or a hardcore holiday, hit it hard, stay up late, eat a bunch of candy, drink a bunch of booze, and all that stuff. So the first thing that we start people off with is deep dish pizza. And now that sounds counterintuitive. I'm just kidding. Deep dish pizza sounds good. It's one of my favorite things, but it really depends on what the ingredients are and stuff. So I just wanted to say that to be, lighten up a little bit, because I know a lot of people are
kind of diet. Hey, listen, we've wanted deep pizza.
People are all wound up. It's like, I'm going to, because it's funny, because I actually watch people and I talk to so many people, and it's like, I'm gonna change these holidays. I'm gonna eat better through the holidays, and then when they get there, they're like, F it. It's just like, there's a lot of booze, there's a lot of stress, there's a lot of traveling, there's a lot of parties, there's a lot of late nights, there's a lot of sugar, and that's just acid. So when you're looking at alcohol or sugar or breads, that's just acid in the body. Okay, it creates a very acidic environment in a very low oxygen environment. And when you have a very acidic environment and a low oxygen environment, your immune system drops, and that's why everybody gets sick, right? Just lack of sleep, lots of acid in the system, and the immune system drops and people get sick. And being sick is no fun, and I had plenty of that growing up, and as I got older, it got worse and worse. And then when I changed my lifestyle, and then things got better. So usually what we like to do is we like to tell people, hey, look, let's do some baby steps. And the first baby step, which is a really hard step for some people, for some reason, like myself, because we were never taught this, and it feels different and it's kind of weird, is self-love. And really starting to love yourself enough and make your life a priority and your health a priority, and putting yourself first. And I see this a lot, especially with mothers, where, man, do they do a good job taking care of everybody else, but they don't take care of themselves. And then a wheel falls off, and then they can't take care of anybody, and they end up in the hospital. And it's getting to the point now, Charlie, where, like, dude, everybody's getting really sick. Like, cancer is just smashing families. It's left and right. There isn't anybody listening right now that either hasn't had cancer or knows somebody that's had cancer or knows somebody that has cancer right now. It's, by the year 2040, 2050, we're on trend to 68 to 72% of people will contract cancer.
God. that is
which will then be as common as catching a cold. Yeah, it's unsustainable. And then you look at autism rates where they were, 1 out of 10,000 in the 80s. Now it's like 1 out of 50, 25, depending on female or male. Again, year 2050, if we stay on current trends with autism, your child will either be born with autism or taking care of somebody with autism.
Yeah.
So what's that burden going to be on this on society financially? Look what's already happened with the older generations now and the baby boomers. Almost everybody that I keep running into here in Eastern Oregon was from my age group, and I'm like, oh hey, you moved back to LeGrand, or where'd you go? And I went to Portland and and they're like, oh, we were living here, we were living there. We moved back home to take care of mom and dad. I moved back home to take care of dad. I moved back home to take care of mom. Dad just passed away. So many people are and that's great that the family's coming together. But the sad news is that people need that level of care that early on, right? Or ever. Like there's a lot of cultures, especially in indigenous cultures, where the older people are just healthy and they're just healthy. And then one day they die. But they're fully functional for the most part because they're eating fresh foods and they're out in nature and they're touching the ground and they're getting exposed to sunshine and they have a community and they're loved, So the first step is getting that self-love component. It's like, put the oxygen mask on in the airplane, put the oxygen mask on yourself and then put it on your child. Because if you try putting it on the child and you pass out and then you fall down and rip, you both die. So you have to take care of yourself first, mothers and fathers, especially you moms out there or fathers that are staying home and taking care of the kids. Because your kids are actually watching you every move that you make. And do you want them to do what you're doing when, put everybody else first and then let your health slide because that's the example you're giving them? That's just so, if you really love your kids, put yourself first. And then teach them how to do that by example. Hand that permission slip to them. So after that first big thing, which is very important, my goal is to help people get energy. You're going to need energy. So that I'm saying, don't even think about working out yet. Don't even think about it. All right. I'm going to get to that. Now that's counterintuitive. And I'm going to say, don't even think about changing your diet yet. Because for some people, that's hard and it's not fun. And then they go from eating these foods that are just rich and delicious to, even though they're destroying their health, to foods that are kind of bland and gross and lifeless. And even though the other ones are lifeless too. And it's not fun, right? We have to just step away from what's not working. Eating less and exercising more they've been trying it for 35 years and pushing on people. Well, how's it working? We know that 94% of you by February 1st are all New Year's resolutions are way behind you and forgotten about. And you're just, the hell with it. I'm a loser. The hell with it. I'm just a fat guy. The heck with it. I'm just not beautiful. And that is just BS. That is a belief system because the system itself is all broken. So we know this. We're very clear about it over here at Chemical Free Body. We teach this every single year. We teach it every single day, that every day is a new day. This is New Year's. This is New Year's. This is New Year's. This is a new day. It's a new day. It's a new day. And your choices during that day are what's going to dictate it. So let's get into the practical stuff that people can do. So what we have found that works, and this has been proven in our inner circle because I've interviewed many people and I do a weekly coaching call for all of our clients. For a bunch of clients, and we have a new program where everybody can come into it for free now, and you can have a coach. And so I ask them and I'll just open the mic up and interview people. What was that one thing that you did? What was that one thing that you did that transformed your health and got you on the right path and was that first baby step? And almost every single time it was, Tim, it was drinking those 2 green juices per day. It was drinking those 2 green juices and then, taking some of your products. And I'm not saying that, and I don't want people to roll their eyes and say, oh, this is going to be a product pitch. Well, it kind of is, right? And the reason why is because there are some basic fundamentals to the human body that have to be addressed. We live in a toxic, polluted world. Everyone listening, your cells, your muscle and your fat tissue and your digestive tract is polluted with toxic chemicals and sludge. We know the average person is packing around, Charlie, 6 to 12 pounds of impacted fecal material in the colon. Well, you think that might be a problem? Right? So what are we going to do? We got to get it out. Well, you can go get colon hydrotherapy. I highly recommend it. I highly recommend you go find a good colon hydrotherapist and put them on your healing team and go see them and let them help you. And they're going to help you clean out that 6 to 12 pounds of crap that's literally destroying your health and dragging down your energy. I mean, imagine that. Like if when we tell this to like wrestlers or boxers or MMA fighters, they get excited because they can remove 6 to 12 pounds of useless waste that's dragging down their energy, and they can replace it with lean muscle. But for the average person that has kids and a work job, it's like you still want to get that sludge out of you. It's poison. It's just accumulated poison. So you get that crap out, you're going to feel lighter, and now you're going to be able to absorb nutrients better and absorb liquid better for hydration. And that's the first step. And so it's cleaning the cells. You can go out and say, well, I'm going to eat better and exercise more. Well, if your cells are full of crap and you start eating and spending more on nutritious foods, that nutrition is going to be flying by that cell that's full of toxins, and it's going to wave hi and bye to it because it can't get in. Your cell is full of toxins. There's no room for it to get in. So we got to clean up them cells first. And the other thing we know is that 95% of people listening are dehydrated, chronically dehydrated, and they don't know it. It's just it's a normal part of their life. They don't know. We are very tolerable. The human body is amazing what it puts up with. So we have the average person that has chronic dehydration. You have chronic long-term nutrient deficiencies, and you have chronic pollution in your cells, right? So the first step is not changing your diet. It's not exercising. It's cleaning up the mess and nutrifying the body. That's it. And so that's why we, if somebody is like on a budget, I would just have them start with the greens twice a day. If you have more money and you're ready to go up the middle or all in, then they could do like, your Charlie's clinic in a box bundle where they get the greens and the other stuff, right? So you can clean out the digestive tract with the gut detox. You can use the toxin detox to clean up the heavy metals, the radiation, the pollution, and use as the binder if you want to add in the parasite free and the silver to start destroying, the parasites, the yeast like Candida albicans, the molds, and all this type of stuff. And so why does this work so well? Well, number one, when you drink 2 green juices a day, you're hydrating the body. You're putting more water in your system. That is very important for begin the detoxification process on the cells. The next thing you're doing is you're flooding the body with super concentrated nutrients. They're going to replace what's been farmed out of the soil. It's just not there. If it's not in the soil, it's not in the plants that are grown in the soil or in the animals that ate those plants. So if you're eating those animals or eating those plants, you're walking around 85% deficient. And do not think because you're eating organic that it's much better, because it's not. All right, it's not. Many organic farms are still tilling their soil. Okay, they're great people. I know many of them. I love them for what they're doing. We're doing our best, but it's about education and about changing. When you till the soil, it's like swallowing an antibiotic. When humans swallow antibiotics, what happens? It destroys the the microbiome, the gram-positive microbiome, and the gram-negative. But we want to keep the gram-positive intact. The soil is the digestive tract, the immune system of the plants. Their digestive tract just happens to be outside of them where it's inside of us, but no different. In fact, the microbiome in the soil are the same ones that are in the digestive tract. Really? So it's really important that we're getting foods that are not tilled, that are not sprayed with pesticides and fungicides and herbicides and larvicides and chemical fertilizers, all this crap, and then highly processed. So how do you do that? Well, that's going to take some time. That's going to take some education, and that's going to take some energy and some desire to do that. So if you have no energy right now, you think you're going to want to go learn that stuff? No, people don't. They don't care. I've been doing this for 15 years. So our goal is to get you energy. And so that's why we made Green 85 juice formula, so you could make it easy. It's highly concentrated. It's formulated by a doctor. It's got 10,000 years of biological engineering system science in it. And in 20 minutes on an empty stomach, you're going to have more energy, and it's going to last 4 to 6 hours. There's going to be no crash. And then in the afternoon, you hit it again so that you get a new burst of energy for the evening, and you cut your dinner in half because you will be able to eat half as much. And when you eat half as much food at dinner, you're going to sleep better because you don't have to process so much food. And when you start sleeping better, you can start losing weight, and you can wake up feeling energized and refreshed. It's this positive cycle. So if we can get you, that's why we like those green juices twice a day, is because it is the foundation to change, because we're going to give you energy. It's going to begin cleaning up the digestive tract and cleaning up the cells. It's going to hydrate. It's going to nutrify. It's going to give your body the building blocks for daily energy. It's going to improve your skin, ladies and gentlemen. You want better skin? It's going to help with your mental clarity. Also, that hydration is going to help with that big time. And it's going to be, again, great for sleep, great for building muscle, great for weight loss. So why wouldn't, look at all the stuff it's good for. And I've been doing this shit for 15 years, and we just know unequivocally it's going to work. So now you've taken that first baby step, and now you have energy, and you want to do something else, and you want to start exercising. You feel pulled to do it rather than have to push yourself. Go buy a membership, get a trainer, get beat up for 2 or 3 days, and you're so sore you can't move, and you're like, the hell with it. This isn't for me. No, it's flood your body with these 2 green juices a day, and go for a walk. Just walk to the mailbox and back. Don't make it a big deal. Walk around the block.
Nobody tells us this. Everybody assumes that the thing you've got to do is what everyone does. Go get the gym membership and start on that. Go down that path and throw out everything in my pantry and go to the grocery store and buy a bunch of bland food that I don't like and I'm probably not going to eat. And that is a recipe for disaster. But what a great strategy to come out from take out the trash first. You're going to renovate your house, take out all the garbage first before you do that, right? That seems like a logical thing to do.
Yeah, you have to clean everything up before you build it back. And I will say this, because I know there's somebody listening going, hey, asshole, like I went to the gym, I transformed my health. Okay, that's great that you did that. You're mentally tough. Okay, you are mentally tough, and a lot of people just can't do it. They just can't do it. So you're one of the few, but the statistics, it's very low. It's kind of like these addiction clinics, where these people spend tens of thousands of dollars to go to these addiction centers and stuff and recovery centers. The success rate's like 2 to 3%. It's horrible. But they could do water fasting or dry fasting, and the success rate's like over 60, 80%. So why don't we put the percentages in our favor? It's like, I know what those percentages are, right? Yeah. You try doing it the old way, it don't work. I mean, it will work for a small percentage of people. And then everybody's like, oh, well, she's so much better than me. I'm a failure. Well, I guess in that route, she was able to pull it off, but why would you compare yourself to somebody else? The bottom line is that you are a living organism that came from Earth. And the reason why you're having so much difficulty is you're disconnected from the mothership. All we're doing is making it easy to reconnect to these vital nutrients. And when you consume these vital nutrients, it just happens that they mix with what you're mostly made of, which is water.
Well, we had Sarah Andrew on here, your publicist from Chemical Free Body, and we were talking about the parasite cleanse. So I have 2 things to say about that. First, for anybody that listened to that episode, my math was wrong on the cost of the program, because when I got my box, it turned out I had accidentally ordered 2 toxin detoxes. So when I was quoting a price after my discount of $360 for everybody, it's actually $310. It's about $50 less than what I thought, because I got an extra detox. So
what did you get?
Well, I got everything you're supposed to get, but instead of getting one of them, I accidentally bought two of them. So I wound up with Gut Detox, Toxin Detox, the Parasite Bundle, and the new apple flavored Green 85. By the way, anybody who doesn't want green drinks because they taste gross, the new apple's out. Can you tell them real fast just about
Yeah,
the apple?
I am so pumped. I'm so excited about this. So if you're new, or if you've been around Charlie for a long time and you've heard of this stuff, but you haven't tried it yet, or you did try it and you didn't like the flavor, that's over. Like, that's over. This original flavor it's the same. It's 7 grams of super concentrated nutrition. Okay, the first ingredient is wheatgrass juice extract, concentrated 21-1 up to 33-1 concentrate. All right. Let me just put that into context. You're going to have to go out and buy some of these other greens, and you're going to have to buy 10 to 30 jars or bags of them to be equivalent to what's in one bag of ours. And ours is wrapped in 10,000 years of biological engineering system science. What that means is the formula is designed to work with the human body. Now we have this one, the new apple flavors out. We took the exact same 7-gram formula, and we added 2.54 grams of organic apple extract and organic lemon, and organic cinnamon. And I've been trying for 10 years, Charlie, to get our super concentrated greens to not taste like pond scum. Mm-hmm. And it's very difficult, if you don't use synthetics. Read the ingredients on some of these other labels, okay? If you see the word like natural flavors, it's by law 90% of it for 80 years can be synthetic. I was pissed because they are now, the FDA is blurring the lines to distinguish between companies like mine that want to have nothing to do with synthetics, and them. So I literally am forced to put organic natural flavors on my bag. And I mean, I had a hissy fit. I was talking to the lab. I'm like, I've been talking out about natural flavors for years. I'm like, that's not going on my label. It's on the label. The lines are getting blurred. It's literally getting to the point now where you have to be buying stuff from somebody that you can trust. Period. And so, and otherwise, you're kind of screwed. So the flavor is so good. I mean, we've tested it. I had 40 people here in a detox class. We gave them the original formula. 25% of people loved it. 50% of people said, I will drink this every day because it makes me feel so good, even though the other 25% said the taste was kind of eh. And the rest had to kind of mix it with something. And there was about 25% that were just like, I just don't want to eat it, 10% somewhere in there. Then we went to Healing for the Ages conference. We tested on 500 people. And same thing. We had a 90% success rate with the apple. It's great. 90%. So now between the two formulas, we've got 95 to 98% of people covered. And then eventually for that last 2, 3, 4, 5%, when we get bigger with your help for patronizing us and we giving you good products, I'm going to put some in capsules so the people that just hate the taste can get it. Because we have about 100 clients right now that are encapsulating the original flavor greens, and so they can get the benefits of it. They just have an adverse taste to that taste.
So I've got both flavors, and I don't love vegetables. And like the idea of a green drink, it's so funny. My family looks at me and they're just like, I still can't believe you drink this green drink every day as much as you just don't like vegetables. And I say, I don't mind it. I actually don't mind the flavor of the original one. But I will tell you this, with the new apple formula, I have to double the water. So now I have to put it in a glass, in a one of my cups.
Because it's sweet, dude.
That's twice the size. So now it says like 12 to 24 ounces or of water. I err on the 24. Like I need a lot of it. But then once I dialed that in, I got the concentration down to the right setting for me. It's great. And when it's in like a container with like, a straw and you can't see it and you hand it to someone, they don't know it's a green drink. It doesn't taste like a green drink. So it's going to work for me. That was the one hurdle that I was having with getting my wife and daughter to drink it, was they tried the other one and they just didn't like the taste. My daughter will drink the apple one now. I haven't. I gotta try with my wife to get her to try the apple now that I've figured out the right ingredients. But I want to say this also about the Sarah Andrew interview. For those of you who were listening to that, and we're saying, that parasite cleanse sounds like I need it, but after listening to her story, it was pretty graphic, of all the things. Like, I don't know if I want that. I have this to say. I am day 6 into my parasite cleanse right now, and my experience has been nothing like hers. I haven't been sick at all. The only things I've had a headache every day, but it's on a scale of 1 to 10, I'm going to put it at like a 2. It's like a dehydration headache. You ever get those? It's probably what it is, to be honest.
Yeah.
In my head, I'm going
from die-off.
It's brain worms, right? It's my RFK brain worms that are dying.
Yeah.
So I'm like, go headache, go. Like I'm kind of rooting it on. But for anybody that was listening to Sarah and was like, no, thank you, I'm not interested in that sort of. I just haven't had that experience at all. I haven't been sick. I haven't been throwing up.
Most people don't, Charlie. I mean, I would say like 1 out of 10 people maybe 1 out of 20 go through what she's going through, where you're just going to see parasites just dumping out of your orifices. But the thing of it is like, if you're scared to have that happen, you should be more scared about the quality of your life and knowing that you have all of them in there doing what they're doing to you.
I know.
Like, you're dying.
I've never been so happy to have a headache in my life.
What happens when a deer dies? If an animal dies on roadkill, bugs come in, flies land on them, they lay the eggs, and the larva starts eating them. That's what's going on inside of people. People don't understand. It's like, we got some big problems here because of the nutrient deficiencies and because of all the toxins and the stress in our life. Our immune system walls have dropped around the castle. And in come the invaders, the bugs, these harmful organisms they're just there. If you have pets, you got them, period. Like, there's no doubt. And so, like with you, there's also things like amoebas and stuff like that you can't see. I mean, this is what got me motivated when I was at Hippocrates, and they showed that video of that guy's colon that had stage 4 cancer, had colon cancer, and the inside of his colon was black like tar, and then all these like white worms crawling around. My skin was crawling. So was the skin of 50 people in that room watching these videos at this class. And then all of a sudden I'm like, I'm getting colon hydrotherapy. Like that. Yeah. I went from, there's no way I'm getting colon hydrotherapy. And I watched that thing and I'm like, I'm getting colon hydrotherapy. If I have worms, I want them out. Like, you should be excited to get this stuff out of you because it's freaking, you don't want it. It's destroying your health.
Totally. I've done that. I've done the colon hydrotherapy. Once you get over the initial like uncomfortableness of it all, it's pretty. I don't know if addictive is the right word, but
it's
I mean
easy.
you can feel you see the results of what's coming out of your body. And I mean, at least the places I've gone in, they have almost like a clear plexiglass tube that shows like what's on its way out, and you see these things going by.
Yeah, you can see what's coming out. People have actually had like toys from childhood coming out.
Gallstones and things like that. I said that to the lady. I go, "What is that? That looks like a green marble." She goes, "That's gallstones." I was like, "Is that okay?" She's like, "Yeah, it's fine." I'm like, all right. So, we don't know what's in us. We got to get it out. I think that people who are at least considering like, I'm serious about fixing my health. I'm not, this isn't just lip service. I'm not just going to get the gym membership and never go. I really want to fix it. Well, you got to pump everything that's out of you. So what would you do, Tim, if you were somebody who's maybe a little bit more advanced? They're not necessarily at a beginner level here. They didn't just have a New Year's resolution. They've been taking pretty good care of themselves, but they want to take it to the next level. Like, at what point do you do when do you do the parasite cleanse? Do you do that right away? Do you do that?
Well, let's put it into example. Sarah was the healthiest of all of her friends, and she's a yoga instructor.
Yeah.
So, with everybody, I don't care if it's a stage 4 glioblastoma brain cancer person or an Olympic level athlete. We teach the fundamentals and the basics, and we put everybody on that first, and we just go up the ladder from there. So it's the same thing, and we do the same things. We're gonna work on hydration. We're gonna work on flooding the body with those nutrients twice a day, and then after that, we start working on stress and how they can learn to remove stressors from their life and respond differently to stress. And then we start looking at your environment. That's what we do over here. So one of the things that we've added is, like, I used to have what was the inner circle that I teach every Wednesday. It was kind of a smaller group of people. It was like $197. And then I wanted more people to afford it. So we dropped it to 97. Then we finally dropped it to 37. And that's where it's at today. It's $37 a month to be in the group coaching deal, or they pay $997. And then they can get lifetime access. But we made it even easier. If anybody's on subscription with our stuff to get the discounts, and by the way, you can get up to 33% off plus whatever Charlie's, using the code macro and get more off which is basically wholesale when you buy 6 packs on subscription. And you just space them out every 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 months, whatever. Even if you're just getting two things of toothpaste, the Nano Silver toothpaste, which basically is healing people's gums, you still have me as free as a coach. And it's just very helpful because when you have questions, right, things come up. What do? I'm also a chef, so I can help you on the food end very easily. I do exercise. I teach exercise and movement, and I've been getting more into functional movement, which I'm liking even more than the yoga that I'm a yin yoga instructor. I'm liking functional movement more. We teach people how to do weight resistance exercises that don't damage and tear rotator cuffs and all that kind of stuff. It's very simple. I actually have shorter workouts, triple the muscle growth. These are the things that we teach inside of the group, and you can get that for free now with the product subscription. So we're trying to build that inner circle up even more because people just need help. People need a coach, and I'm like, I'm doing it every Wednesday anyway. Why don't you just show up and ask me questions?
Yeah,
it's free.
I was thinking back on when the last time I got sick was. What's funny is I can actually pinpoint it. I know exactly when it was, simply because it was around a holiday. I got sick the Wednesday before Thanksgiving, 2020. That was the last time I have had a cold. I've never experienced anything like that.
Well, you've had them. You've had lots of colds, but your immune system just fought them off, and you didn't feel it.
I've never had anything that made me sick and put me in bed where, like, I'm sick, I'm down for the count, I'm out today. And I would get that periodically every so often, of course. So what's changed in my life since then? Well, from a health standpoint, I started in Green 85. And I've been consistent, and I've been talking about this with everybody. I have taken Green 85, with the exception of some of the mornings when I'm traveling. But if I'm at home, it's every day.
Yeah.
For 5+ years, and other products as well. And I didn't change anything else. It's not like I just started going to the gym then. And that's when I was looking back on this, because during this time, I've had family members get sick and everything, and it's just not me. I keep thinking, well, I'll get sick. She got sick, and then my daughter got sick, and then I'll be next. Just doesn't happen. Have I built myself some sort of shield through this? Because I feel like getting sick is no longer a part of my life anymore. And I knock on wood, of course, but it's not for nothing. It's not like I'm just like hoping. I'm actually being proactive and doing things. I'm trying to do the things to make it so that I'm not sick. But for the record, I have not been sick in over 5 years. No exaggeration. That's crazy to me.
Well, that should be normal.
Yeah. Well,
see, I mean, look at where the belief systems are. Even yourself, like, it's hard for you to even believe that you're not getting sick because of the world that you grew up in.
I know.
It's like having that mental shift, like, oh, well, of course, this is the way it's supposed to be now that you have the awareness and you went through the process, right?
Yeah.
And this isn't like you're going to take Green 85 and you're never going to have a cold again. There's going to be a process. It's a 2 to 3 year process. Like, I hate to bust everybody's bubble, but again, whether you have stage 4 cancer or you're an Olympic level athlete, it takes 2 to 3 years of a lifestyle to get your immune system built up to where it's running like a top, where you probably won't be getting sick anymore unless you have a few nights worth of bad sleep strung together in a row. There could be a death in the family where you have to move the house and sleep in it, or if you decide to, drink a whole bunch of booze or something. Those things are going to absolutely crash your immune system. Or maybe you're exposed to something. Maybe you move somewhere and all of a sudden you're exposed to some 5G stuff that's just zapping the crap out of you. Or there could be mold in the home. And 9 out of 10 homes have mold. Right. This is one of the reasons why we want to get people on the silver and then have them do a mold test kit and then figure out what they can do to remediate that mold issue. It's a problem.
What does the silver do for the mold?
It's a freaking problem. We actually had a client. What's that?
What does the silver do for the mold? Explain that, because I know a lot of people are sick from mold, and the nano silver it helps with that. How does it?
Well, the nano silver works on mold, and it works on mold and mycotoxins and yeast and fungus and parasites and like yeast like Candida albicans, and it's unbalanced and it's looking to steal an electron, and it goes in and starts ripping electrons off of these pathogens and harming them. And the triple action nano silver never stops. Colloidal and ionic silvers are going to rip an electron, damage it, and then they're balanced and they're done because they're looking to balance themselves. They're missing an electron. Ours pulls it in to its core and it wants another and another and another. So it's like a machine gun. It's like a continuous action. 300% more effective versus colloidal silver in a clinical study against MRSA, which is a very powerful, like flesh-eating bacterium. Right. Yeah. The colloidal silver did kill it in like 4.5 hours, but on the first check station at 30 minutes, the triple action nano silver had killed it. And the concentrations were not even comparable, actually. 32 part per million triple action nano silver versus 10,000 part per million colloidal silver. So that is quite an accomplishment. And why, if me as a health coach, that's all super exciting and everything. But the most exciting part is you can actually swallow it, and it doesn't kill the gram-positive bacterium, your immune system, whereas the colloidal and ionics will. So that is huge, because with colloidal and ionics, we would always have our clients, because I promoted it for years, to take the silver and squirt it up the nose so the silver could go into the bloodstream through the respiratory tract and avoid the gastrointestinal tract and damaging the immune system.
But you don't have to do that with the nano silver because it doesn't work that way.
No. Yeah, and we have a gel too, and you put the gel, or you can take the solution and do it in eye wash, and we have a uses manual. And if you guys would like to get the uses manual, just email support@chemicalfreebody.com and ask for the uses manual. And if you want to get, we can send you links to the studies versus the colloidal silver, and we have studies showing that our FDA clinical studies showing that the silver exits the body safely in 24 hours. But more importantly, you want to get that manual. We have to. This just gives you an idea of how powerful this silver is. The FDA won't allow me to send. You have to request it. I want to send it to you with every purchase. I want to send it out to our entire list, but it has to. Oh, maybe I could do that. It has to be 2 clicks away from our website. Otherwise, I can get in trouble. So I have to. You request it, I can then send it directly to you, or you could click a link on our website, which would take you to this landing page where you click another link, and then it takes you to the manual, and then we're safe and we can't get in trouble. Why do you think it's so hard for us to get you the information on the uses of this silver product?
Probably because it works very well. They don't want people to know that.
Yeah. Well, I'll give you an example. In Canada, our Canadian clients, the gel has been approved by Health Canada, which is like, I almost want to fall off my chair because this has been for over a year, and I still can't believe it. The gel, I can say this for only our Canadian clients, nobody else, just Canadian clients. The gel, we can say it cures all skin disease. Let that sink in for a moment.
So hey, you in Canada, You have no skin diseases in Canada, but all you Americans are screwed.
Canada,
right? Wink,
yeah,
wink.
and so we have clinical trials going right now for all the different skin issues, one by one. It's a very lengthy, long process. It's going to take years, but that's just the way it is. But for me, I'm like, my internal thing is like, okay, well, that's great. You can put on the skin. They got that approval and stuff. But for me, if you got skin issues, I know you have gut issues, so we want to work on the gut, and we would definitely want to have you take the Nano Silver solution as part of that process. Taking the gut detox, taking the toxin detox, and doing like the parasite free product to get rid of that one's really targeted for parasites.
Yeah,
We got to
see
clean
these
up that
ads.
internal system. It's just like, go ahead.
Yeah, well, I see the ads for like eczema creams and things like that. The prescription ads, and I think to myself, that's a gut issue. Right? Like it's manifesting itself on the external part of your arm and you're scratching it and you feel like, oh, it's scratching here. I should put a cream here to treat the thing, that's here, that's coming from here and it's on my elbow, right? But it's not coming from there. It's coming from your gut, right? Is that what we're talking about?
Yeah, and I was one of those people, and that's a great business to be in because you need the creams forever. And then you got greasy creams staining your shirts and your jackets, and you got to deal with it, and you got to spend the time doing it. All that stuff adds up, And I had eczema, cracking, bleeding like nobody. I mean, I was one of the worst cases the doctor had seen. All over my body, my knees, my elbows, all my, some people get it and in the scalp, and it sucks, right? And it's kind of embarrassing, and you don't feel as good about yourself when your skin's all weird looking. It's like if you're trying to attract a partner, or if you're married and does your wife or husband want to run their fingers through your hair and then flick off a scab and you're bleeding while you're trying to make love? I mean, that's the reality of it. And it's, yeah, man, it's a gut issue. It really is a gut issue.
I suppose the good news is it's fixable. Right, these things that we hear about, these.
Oh yeah,
these
look at my elbows. Look at my my elbows are just soft and
beautiful elbows.
I'm 52
Tim.
years
Beautiful
old. I'll be
elbows.
53 next June. Yeah, I have beautiful elbows. My skin.
Yeah,
I felt weird about this because I was doing a lot of yoga, and then I would tell them about my skin. When I tell my story about my eczema. So what did they naturally do? They would look at my skin. I'm like, yeah, look at my elbows now. They're fine. And these women are like, wow. And they would touch my arms, like, oh my God, your skin's amazing. It's it's glowing and it's so soft. And I, as a guy, the way I grew up, I felt all weird inside when saying what do you, don't say that. That made me feel all weird because I was trained to be this tough guy. And now I'm like, yeah, look at my skin. It's beautiful. It's glowing and it's soft and supple and it's awesome. Right. And it wasn't like that. It was not like that at all. And so I healed myself. No doctor helped me. I became my own doctor. And I just every day I wake up and I'm just thinking, God, if this Eastern Oregon redneck that was so repressed with a huge ego can flip the script and heal myself, then I know a lot of other people can. And I am committed to getting this information out to people so they can become their own doctors and self-heal.
I'm starting to see normies out there talking about red light therapy. It's amazing. People are actually starting to have these conversations. I was at my in-laws for Thanksgiving and saw one of them had a red light mask and everything. Like, hey, I've got the mask. I don't know if it works or if it's
nice.
Might be a total gimmick, but whatever. People are starting to have that conversation. Now, you and I've talked about this years ago. You swear by them. What's the deal with red light therapy? Talk to me about the saunas and what you've been doing with that, because that's an angle that I think people
if you think about it, we are frequency. And the future of medicine is going to be light and sound, right? The sound, light and sound therapies. And so, one of my favorite things is infrared sauna, far infrared saunas, and we promote the relaxed sauna. And I can't even tell you how many time. I mean, I do it every day. I already did the sauna today. I do it every single day, and I like it because if I'm going to be gone for a trip for a long time, I can take it with me because it only weighs 32 pounds, which is nice. But that far infrared is the vibrational frequency, which I just mentioned earlier, of water in nature. And what are you mostly made of? Water, right? And so if you're able to get into something and charge up your water, that's a good thing. And then the water, when it gets charged up, the molecules actually shrink. What are your red blood cells made of? Water. So your red blood cells get smaller, and at the same time, it's dilating your cardiovascular system. So veins in these capillaries, where only one cell can get in, have kind of like cells can't really get in there anymore when they become dormant. And there could be toxins down in that stuff. And then those dormant capillaries can be out all the way towards your skin. And they can also go in deeper into your organ systems. So when you're exposing yourself to the frequency of far infrared, all right, and charging the cells up and they shrink and dilating the capillaries, now these little blood cells can get back in there and start taking nutrients out towards the skin, deeper into the organ systems, and then shuttling out toxic waste. And it's like, wow. And this is how you can, like, this is why people that start doing light therapies, their skin, in saunas like this, their skin starts getting better. They're detoxing, they're pushing stuff out of the cells, they're able to get to new places. It feels good. It reduces inflammation in the body like crazy. Like if you, the relaxed saunas that we use that we have are like anybody that has pain in 15 to 25 minutes in that sauna, like 50 to 100% of your pain's gone.
Wow.
It sounds crazy, but that's what happens. I mean, we have people like when we were at the Healing for the Ages conference, the owner Phil was there. He had like six of them set up. People were jumping in them, just take off their shoes, but they're fully clothed. They're not doing a full session. They're just staying in it for, 5, 10, 15 minutes max until they just start to sweat, and then they get out right before they start sweating. And then like people are like, God, my back feels better. And they're just like, wow. People are just over there blowing their minds one after, not even with a full dose, right? So that's exciting. Clinically proven to melt fat and you lose weight, not doing anything else. Don't even change your diet. Don't change nothing, exercise, nothing. You get in one of them saunas every day, you just fat goes away, right? Your mood improves. You speed up mitochondrial function, which creates ATP, and you start having more energy, right? Some people have blocked pathways. Some people don't sweat. For those of you that don't sweat and think that might be a good thing, it's not. It's not at all. Like it's like your car shoving a potato in the muffler. All right. You're going to explode. It's not good. You're going to have a catastrophe. A potato is going to come flying out of there. Right. So that's something on those. I'm a very big proponent of them. And then if you're talking about red lights, those are just, a little bit different. They have red and near infrared light therapy. And this is kind of the same thing. It's, it's helping people enhance that mitochondrial function, again, increasing ATP and energy, improve skin, faster muscle recovery, reduce joint pain, boosted energy levels. There's just a lot of benefits of light therapy nowadays. And another one's just like anti-aging, and a big one's mood, athletic performance, better sleep. There's just a lot of benefits from these light therapies.
Weren't you getting like heavy metal residue out of your skin? Didn't you say you're like wiping like gray droplets of stuff that was coming out while you're sitting in these saunas? And I think I'd heard people saying that before, that they had that the sweat that was coming out was almost like discolored, almost like it was pulling stuff out of their cells.
Yeah, that actually happened to me. So what happened was I had been a sauna dealer for quite a few years, like I think 9 or 10 years at the time, and maybe 7, I can't remember. So it was 2013. Yeah, maybe it was like 7 or 8. And so we were actually doing installation too. So we were still building chemical-free body, but at the same time we were offering saunas because of the tremendous benefits that I'd learned. And so I'm like, wow. So we had worked with another company, and they were more of the big box saunas. It's one of the big names out there. And I did my research on it, and it had virtually no EMFs. That's why I loved that one. That was the most important thing for me. I didn't want to get the beneficial light and then zap myself with EMFs. They had panels in the proper position for maximum detoxification. There was no glues used in the woods. There's no off-gassing. Just a bunch of stuff, right? So I picked this one company. We're doing it for years and very happy, and people love it. Downside, big box saunas are expensive. They're hard to set up. They take up a lot of room. A lot of times you have to spend $500 to $1,500 more to have an electrician come in, especially if you're getting a 3-person sauna or greater, because they require much more wattage. And then they're going to take 30 to 45 minutes to warm up, and you got to stay in them longer. They will raise your core temperature a degree to a degree and a half. But in this, like I said, in this little relax sauna that we sell, it raises your core temperature 3.5 degrees in 25 minutes, or 3.2. It's 3.2 degrees in 25 minutes. This is massive. So it's not about the ambient temperature around you. It's about core temperature. And Hippocrates said, give me the power basically to create fever and I will cure all disease. And when you're getting into an far infrared sauna, you're creating an artificial fever every time you do this.
Can we then talk a little bit about fevers? Because there's a belief system for parents, traditional belief, that you want to get rid of this fever. Oh, my child has a fever. I've got to do whatever I can to bring that fever down. Now I read information from other people who are maybe a little bit better informed, and they say, oh, quite the opposite. The fever is what you want. What are your thoughts on all this?
Well, I think, a lot of what Western medicine, besides the good stuff where they do crisis care and crisis management, car accidents, broken bones, gunshot wounds, that's what Western medicine actually is, where it came from. It was born out of crisis care in wars, on the front lines, MASH units, that kind of stuff. That's Western medicine. And it's a necessary part, but it's a very small part to our society. The rest of it is really not really about healing anything. It's about suppression, trying to suppress your own body's natural, just the things that your body does. Now, one thing is, like, a lot of these pills will suppress like symptoms temporarily, right? And it's the same thing when we're talking about a fever. If you're sick and you have some type of something going on inside of you and your body's trying to clean it up, it creates a fever. It raises the core temperature and it kills that pathogen. It's doing its job naturally. So you want to support that. You don't have to worry, but parents freak out. And so they don't want their child to have a fever because they freak out. They just don't know. So they're coming out of a place of fear rather than a place of knowing and understanding that the intelligence that is inside yourself and your child is way beyond anything that you could get from any medical doctor. Pretty much any doctor, period. Right? And so, we're not being stupid about it. If it's over 104 degrees, then yeah, you might have to, but if it's not, then it's like, just let nature run its course. Rest and sleep. Like, look at the flu. Like, what do? You throw up, you start dry fasting, right? A flu forces you to dry fast. And that's no food, no water. And people think that's the craziest thing ever. Yet people do it every single day. When you go to bed until you wake up in the morning, you're dry fasting. You're not eating, you're not drinking. And everybody knows, when do you build muscle? You build it at night when you sleep. When you're sick, what does your body make you do? Lay down, sleep. Animals do this when they get sick. They stop eating and they lay down and they rest and they let the body heal itself. And so when you get a flu and you have this bug in you, let's say, okay, and it's trying to knock it out, it stops eating. It tells you, don't eat anything or you're going to throw it up. And try to eat. You don't want to eat nothing because your body's like, it's literally just saying, let's get rid of all the food because we need to heal. This is an emergency situation. Whatever food's inside of you is coming out because the body is so intelligent, it knows that if there's food inside of you, its primary job is to process that food and to get it through you. So it's either going to do digestion and absorption of nutrients, or it's going to ferment and rot. But one of the two ways it's got to get out. So the other way is faster in an emergency situation. It throws it out of your body, literally. And so now you have no energy going towards digestion, and all that energy can be rerouted to what? To dealing with that flu. Period. So it's just rallying the troops. It's really a smart thing. Now you're dry fasting, you're not eating, you're not drinking, and you're laying in bed, and then the fever kicks in. This is your body's full tilt assault with the immune system to bring you back to balance the fastest. That's what it is. And to suppress that is just silly.
Oh, Tim, every time you come on here, we get good ideas, real logical, actionable information that we can incorporate into our lives. I wish you had been teaching this. I wish kids knew this. I wish adults knew it. But, we grow up and we go through school and we health class, science class, and all this stuff. I learned more from the health people in the last couple of years than I ever learned sitting in a classroom trying to understand chemistry or biology or how any of this stuff works. It's just. They presented it to me in a way that just did not connect. And in talking to guys like you, I get the information presented in a different way, and all of a sudden it makes perfect sense to me. But as a kid, none of this, I didn't know any of it. So I suppose as much as it's, you got to get good water, you got to get good food, and you got to get good information too.
Yeah. What you're consuming does matter. So one thing is like, if you feel like if you're, you haven't had this lifestyle, you haven't not been drinking green juices twice a day, you haven't done the detox, you haven't done any colon hydrotherapy, you're not taking some of these products, you're eating processed foods, it's going to take a while. So if you are around anybody that's sick or has a flu or a cold, jump into the far infrared sauna. Create the artificial fever ahead of time and start knocking that stuff back. If you don't have the money to do your due diligence, go down and get yourself a cup of powdered ginger out of the bulk section at your local grocery store. Make sure it's organic. This is an ancient, very easy way to raise core temperature. So what you do is make yourself some ginger tea, right? You can just get regular ginger tea bags with that if you want, or use the powder, but you make some ginger tea, and it's very hot and spicy, and you're going to be drinking ginger tea. And then this is for somebody that has been around somebody that feels like, or they're starting to get sick. They feel it just starting to come on. Now, of course, in a flu situation, you're not going to be able to drink ginger tea anyway because you're going to throw it up. But all the other ones, early on, as a preemptive, you can drink that ginger tea, run a very, very, very hot bath, so hot you can barely get into it, put 1 cup of that powdered ginger in the bath. But don't just dump it, because it'll be a cloud of ginger powder. It'll get in your eyes. It'll burn the crap out of you. So hold it right above the water gently, and then gently stir it all in with your hands. Get naked, hop in there, and when you get in, you kind of have to swirl it around on top so the ginger's not in there as you're getting in, because the genital areas are going to burn a lot if you don't. It'll burn a little bit if you do. So you want to get that ginger out, and you want to get in. You want to set in there for 20 to 25 minutes, and then when you get out, do not touch your eyes, because you're going to burn. So get out, wash your hands off, pat yourself down. Do not rinse off. You want to keep that ginger on the body. Pat yourself down, and then you wash your hands off again, and then you're going to put on long john tops and bottoms. Then you're going to put on a sweatshirt top and bottom, and then you're going to wrap yourself in about 3 big towels. You're going to clean up the mess, rinse off the bathtub. You're going to go wash your hands one more time to make sure you don't touch your eyes. And you're going to go lay in bed and go to sleep. Or you're just going to lay down. And what's going to happen is you're going to create an inferno. And you're going to start, your body's going to turn in, like, it's going to be rocket hot and all over. And the ginger inside and the ginger on the outside and the big towels and all that stuff. And you're going to get hot and you're going to start sweating. You can actually create an artificial fever with 1 cup of powdered ginger root. It's amazing. So that's something you can do on the cheap at home if you are not able to afford to get one at the saunas, which are about $1,600-$1,700.
Okay. Wow. There's a lot going on. There's so much we can do. There's so much we can do to improve our health. You know, for everybody who's sick out there, boy, I mean, when you're feeling bad, you'd give anything to feel better. And I suppose there's some great ways to help you feel better in the moment. But if we're not being proactive and doing this preventatively, prophylactically, you know, making sure I don't get sick. Yeah, I'm sick now, let's say, but I don't want to get sick in the future. I want to go on a 5-year streak like I'm on right now where I haven't been sick. Then it's a daily operation, right? For me, it is. I drink Rain 85 every day. That's part of my routine. I hope people will do it. You know, you're the owner of the company, so if it sounds like a sales pitch, I don't care. It works. It's good stuff. It is good for you. I have zero problem telling people to go out and buy your products because I know as a user that it actually works. So thank you, Tim. I say this every time. Thank you for making products that actually do what they're supposed to do and aren't filled with sawdust and garbage and all the stuff, you know. And for people who want to connect with you, maybe want to have you as a coach. I know you went through it, but let's just wrap it up one more time. The best place for people to find you, find your podcast, to get your products, or to just mentor, you know, just find themselves a mentor to help them push through this. What is the best way for them to connect with you?
Really easy. It's just chemicalfreebody.com/macro. That's a little window to our website that we created with you, and kind of gives you an idea of like what we do, because we have a lot of other system stuff. Like we have one of the 2 lab certified structured water devices. You want to upgrade your water big time and create that 4th phase of water. That's a whole, if you don't even know what that is, you got to go read about it and learn about it. It's a
Water Hero, baby.
It took me a couple years to really learn that. So I felt confident, you know, that I was going to share this with people. The triple action nano silver products, all the stuff that we have there. You can also find me on Instagram under Chemical Free Body Guy. And for the podcast is, I changed the name again. So we had our 300th episode, and when we were planning it out, she was asking me questions because Sarah actually interviewed me on my 300th episode. And I'm like, dude, I was like, I'm the human lab rat. I've been trying all this stuff on myself, vetting all these things so that I can then share it with people because they're too busy to do this. So this is my job. And I've been doing it for 15 years, trying different supplements, trying air purifiers, trying red lights, trying PEMFs, trying water system, just doing all this stuff, trying to do the homework and then sharing with people stuff, whether it's our products or somebody else's products. I'm just like, here, it's all about that lifestyle, right? I said, I'm always upgrading. And so I've said I've upgraded my water systems many times. And then finally, and she's like, I was like, yeah, that's why it's upgraded. That's what I do. I'm always upgrading my life. And if I find something awesome, I'm telling you about it. But if I find something better, then I'm going to tell you, hey, we're going this way now. And here's why, you know, so it's upgrade. So now the podcast is called Tim James Upgraded. So we went from Health Hero to Tim James Unleashed, and now it's Tim James Upgraded. So I apologize, but the next 300 episodes, we're going to leave it alone. It's just going to be upgraded.
Well, last thing before we go, with the Water Hero system, you don't need to buy new filters, yeah?
Well, that's still up in the air yet. We have not proven that. We know that it's charging the positive and the negative bonds of the water. We know it's energizing the water because when the water goes through our system, it's actually dropping about 0.4 to 0.7 degrees. And remember, our system is not plugged into any device. No. It's a bunch of specialized crystals cut a certain way, placed a certain way in copper. And when the water goes through it, the guy that we're working with is like Tesla. I mean, he's really smart with microbiome and water. And that's why it took me so long to understand. I'm like, Joseph, look, I don't understand even what you're talking about. I have to be able to explain this to people like me. And so that system is really cool because when the water goes through, it's charging it up. It's called an endothermic reaction. So when the water gets charged, it actually gets colder. which is people can look it up, endothermic reaction. So it's charging the water, and we believe that his theory is that when it goes through that charging process, it's taking these chemicals and breaking them back down to their elemental state, rendering them inert. So they're still in solution. You can still test for them and they're there, but we're trying to find somebody that knows how to test the difference between like an active synthetic chemical that would harm you versus the one that's been inert. So for right now, we're not saying that it's a purification system at all. Mm-hmm. We are saying this is what you finish your water with, because it will charge the water and it will restructure the water into what's called fourth phase water. And you can read all about it on the website under the Water Hero, and there's videos on it and stuff, and you can get educated there. So it's a finishing device. But I'll tell you this, if you read what it's doing to the water, many of you that have the water softeners, you won't even need them anymore, because it's actually taken the minerals. Not only is it restructuring the water, but it's restructuring the minerals. So these hard forms of calcium, like calcites and aragonites, are getting converted to the much softer hexagonal form called vaterite, which, by the way, is not only soft to make soft water, but it also makes delicious strawberries. And so for anybody out there gardening, we have a garden unit now, and we can do custom units for your farm. And we've saved orchards of blight and snail issues, and increased the nutrition of the trees by like 78% in a month or two, just by watering it with this stuff. And the toxic aluminum has dropped 400% in the tissue samples of these trees, which we know the toxic aluminum they're spraying the chemtrails and stuff. So that was an unexpected blessing. And then we've also seen it, we have it online there. You can read about it, how it took glyphosate, where we added it to a soil sample and then ran the water through the Water Hero, put the water into that soil, and completely it's destroying the glyphosate. We're not sure how that's working, but it is.
Well, listen, as long as it's working, if it's destroying glyphosate, that's a good thing.
Yeah.
People need to get honest about their water, and I had when I lived in Las Vegas, we had soft water machines for our water as well, because we were lucky we had water at all in Las Vegas, and the water you get was filled with a ton of chemicals.
So you have the big bags of salt and all that stuff.
Oh yeah, yep.
Yeah, it's expensive, and those salt saline units that are using to clean your things push out a tremendous amount of toxins into the environment after it cleans your water.
Great.
So with this one, we have no byproducts whatsoever.
Well, this is for people who are interested in getting the highest quality water, they need to check out the Water Hero system. I tried it with you in Mexico. Yeah.
It will definitely be part of it'll be the finishing touch on your water. So get a big purification system, and then you'd want to finish it with the Water Hero.
That's Tim James, everybody. He's been on this show more than anybody else except me, I suppose. And the reason is because every time he comes on, he gives you information that you can take home. You can put it into use immediately. You can go buy his products too if you like, but you don't have to. There's a lot of things that you can do for yourself. But I guess the question is, are you ready to make these changes? If you are, Tim can help. Go check out chemicalfreebody.com/macro to find everything that they're working on. And if you want to connect with me, macroaggressions.io is the website. Thanks, everyone. Talk to you again soon.